So when the dark overlords of the church finally left or died out, they left not only the church, but also all it had affected in shambles. Many of the practitioners came confused with conflicting aspects of this new evolved Christianity, and those now left in charge had little more to offer than to say, have faith. The Vatican still had possession of the wealth and records of the Roman Empire and some of the Elven kings, not to mention what they had acquired during their residence there. Works once attributed to legend have now resurfaced, like the Dead Sea Scrolls, or the Apocrypha, the Book of Enoch, the Gospel of Thomas, just to name a few. And only the initiates of the Inner Vatican Circle once knew of these. And concerning the Elven-Ffayrie, well, the people of the Renaissance and even modern society can usually distinguish their beliefs into one of the following categories. One, that the Sylvans are a distant genetic relation to modern mortal humans. Two, that the fairy beings are nature spirits, inhabitants of the green world forest, where magical things happen. Three, the Elven-Ffayrie race are descendants from the fallen angels, or the children of Lilith, and are basically demons or devils. 4. Fairy and fairy creatures are the ancient ancestral spirits, genetic relatives, particularly European, who were so attached to the land that they remained, albeit beneath the surface or invisible, upholding their pledges that they are Gaia's guardians, even in death. These varying mortal beliefs about Elven-Ffayrie, as well as derivatives of the same, has led to what W.Y. Wentz even titled his book, The Fairy Faith in Celtic Countries, considering fictional folklore to contemporary society. In remote places of modern Europe, however, the belief and relationship with the Sidhe and Sylvan beings is still maintained, especially among isolated peasants or villagers who very much depend on the earthways and agriculture for survival. By spending so much time away from the hustle and bustle of the larger human settlements, the country folk, even during this Christian era, still have limited contact with interdimensional beings and fairy. Throughout the Dark Ages, the persecution of magic drove its belief, practices, and even the practitioners out of public sight. This remaining magical blood and lineage was then split in two. One group went into the deep woods, where these nature-oriented, shamanic-like folk could maintain these peasant-like folk, witch, gypsy traditions in secret. On the other hand, magic was also carried by an elite group that maintains a better-known chain of secret societies that coexist with mortal society and play an important role, while at the same time existing almost independently and above that same society. Of course, I am referring to the Elven-Ffayrie branch of Illuminoids and Masons. This secret society or Elvish council of the Dark Ages did not exist with the same societal role as it once did in the Age of Fairy, nor do people see it as very significant today. The lineage has also fallen along the way and continues to be removed from the original Elven-Ffayrie race, has endured its own evolution, so its members remain today Reconstructionalists, distant descendants with mystical inclinations.
So now, you might already be a wizard or an interested seeker. Isn't it important to be in control of your reality? Wouldn't you agree it's better to be happy and live a happy life than be unhappy? Think of how you'll feel when you lose the feeling of being a victim and have the confidence to be a real participant in the universe. My name is Joshua Free, and I would like to show you how people have been by using my approach to save time and money and frustration by essentially applying these simple-to-use Arcanum materials are living the reality and life of their dreams. And of course, you have to admit that the sooner you can access these materials for yourself, the sooner you can start reaping the rewards of the system. Now, as you sit in front of your computer, listening to me, you might already be imagining what it's like to have this kind of power in your hands and by your side because of the things you could do right now by changing your life into the reality you want. This is why we are offering the Arcanum materials at an affordable, inexpensive ebook format from Quintessential Publications, which you can buy from joshuafree.com. Now imagine what it will be like to have your very own Merlin by your side. Learn from the safety and security of your own home at your own pace with nothing more to buy. Discover the mysteries like others before you by embarking upon this quest. And whether you fancy yourself a free spirit or a do-it-by-the-book kind of person, Arcanum has much to offer you. Now, I'm not going to tell you Arcanum will change your life because that is a decision for you to make. But by now, you will have realized that there is more to life, reality, and existence, and sooner or later, you will stand before the open pages of your very own Arcanum, so why wait? This is Joshua Free wishing you many blessings upon your path.